Hey music friends, this is Davi Vasc, I'm a music composer for games, and today we're going back to the Dark Souls series and we're going to listen to and talk about the Ornstein and Smough battle theme from the first Dark Souls. This one has been requested a lot, so let's go. Very intense. Very beautiful. Okay, so right off the bat, I love that as much as there is a lot of intensity and a little bit of terror as well, there's also a lot of beauty too. They're clearly painting a picture of, of majesty, of regalness, of explendor, Pay attention to the choice of instruments in this intro here. Can you hear the bell? Sounds very much like a church bell here in this part. And then this. Did you hear the harp? This technique when they do like this with the harp. This is called the glissando. So both the bells here and the glissandos on the harp paint a picture of nobleness and majesty and beauty to Ornstein and Smough, which is kind of interesting considering that you're fighting against them and they're the bad guys in the game. A lot of brass, and of course they would use a lot of brass in this piece because these guys, Ornstein and Smough, they are knights, they represent the crown, and brass instruments have always been very closely associated historically, with monarchy, with the crown. Such an imposing harmony. Listen how heroic this melody is. Very cool. Okay, a little break. Dude, listen. There's some very cool organ on the background of this part here. Can you hear the low-pitched organ? And there's also some harpsichord, very, very quiet, mostly on the left speaker. See if you can hear it. The harpsichord is doing something like this. And the reason why I'm pointing this out is because I have a feeling that they're really going for a Baroque style for this track here, and organ and harpsichord are very characteristic instruments of the Baroque period, and actually this kind of pattern that he's doing here with the harpsichord is very Baroque too. This kind of stuff, they loved doing this in the Baroque period, stuff like this. Goes back to the brass and this choir, man. Wow. Okay, so this is extremely Baroque. Again, with the organ and the harpsichord. Listen to the harpsichord. He's doing this. And this note pattern on the organ here. Can you hear? This is very, very Baroque. This is called a pedal point. It's something that they did a lot in the Baroque period. He's doing something like this. And Baroque period is a style of music that sounds very old. In history, we have Baroque period and then classical period and romantic period, and then it's basically the present. Classical and romantic period, they sound old, but the sound of the orchestra sounds very similar, somewhat similar to the orchestras that we have today, so they don't sound as old as the Baroque period when the orchestra sounded completely different. The orchestra, as we know today, wasn't even a thing back then. So it makes you wonder, why are they trying so hard to make this piece for Ornstein and Smough sound old? And to me it makes total sense actually, because if I remember correctly, and bear with me here guys, I played this game 10 years ago, so maybe I won't remember everything 100%, but if I remember correctly, this fight happens in An Orlando, right? In the first Dark Souls. And An Orlando is the vestige, the crumbling vestiges of a once majestic and big and powerful kingdom. So they're painting a picture of something that is old with the Baroque style of music here, something that is no more, something that once was majestic and beautiful and splendorous, but now is just old. Oh, beautiful, beautiful melody in the brass. Oh, it keeps getting higher. Again, they keep repeating the same melody. Oh, I think they're gonna do it again. See how they keep repeating the same melody, but it keeps getting higher every time. It creates a lot of anticipation and excitement. Higher. One more. Is there one more? So exciting. Fantastic. I think it's so interesting, the contrast that they're making here with this boss theme, because you know, a boss theme is something that usually inspires terror and fear and danger, but they're using some very happy chords here because of course they want to evoke that image of nobility and majesty for these two knights that you're fighting. So look how interesting is these chords that he's using here. So look how interesting it is what he's doing here. He's doing a very, very happy resolution. And I have explained here on the channel before that a resolution in music means that it's just a transition from a tense chord to a peaceful chord, and that creates a sensation of resolution, of finality, of conclusion. So he's doing, again, a very happy resolution here, which is something very interesting to do in a boss fight, which usually requires more tense and disturbing chords. But look what he's doing. This is the tense chord here. So for a resolution to happen, he would have to go from here to a happy, peaceful chord to create a sensation of conclusion, right? But instead of doing that, he from here goes here. And this is something called a suspended chord. And in more simple terms, we could say that this suspended chord here is an almost happy chord. This chord takes the third, which is the note on the chorus that is responsible for letting us know if it's a happy or a sad chord. It takes this note and it kind of hides it, so you don't know if it's happy or sad, and then only after this it concludes with the happy chord. So it's kind of a delayed resolution. It creates even more anticipation for the happy chord, and when it hits much harder, and it feels much happier and much more satisfying. Very ominous. Oh, there's some very, very low-pitched choirs here in this part. Oh, 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 but he's not doing this though. He's doing an octave lower. He's doing this. That's very, very low. Oh, oh. this is my limit. Oh, it already sounds kind of weak and out of tune, but he's doing even lower than that. He's doing this one. I can't reach that. That's impressive. I have another video on Dark Souls music. I made a video on the Gwyn Lord of Cinder theme from the first Dark Souls. It's over here. You guys like that one a lot, so here I am doing another one, and I will certainly do even more than that. Whenever you're ready to spread your wings and go on a music journey again, I'll see you there.